Hello everyone, Kenny here, Cranky Old Man YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about incompetence, negligence, maybe some stupidity. Um, Pretty much this video I'm about to talk about, all three of those adjectives encompasses this situation. Here is a man who is very compliant with the Jacksonville, Florida Sheriff's Office, I believe, concerning a firearm. Now, he was stopped for blowing a red light, according to the officers, and you'll see it in the video. He explains to him why he's being stopped. And when asked a standard question, do you have anything in the vehicle that's crazy, can hurt me, can blow me up, blah, blah, blah. You kind of try to make it more bigger than it is, kind of like you're just kind of saying it nonchalant, just to see what their response was. And the guy said, yeah, I have a gun. And then, of course, the next question is, you're good, you have, your carry license and all that, where he says no. So here's where the problem starts. If he would have said, yes, I have a carry license, then all you need to do is say, can I take a look at it? You take a look at it, you make sure it's valid, you hand them the card back, and you just say, hey, man, just you be chill, you sit in the car, you're good to go. We won't need to do anything other than possibly write you the ticket for running the red light. And thank you very much for being honest and letting me know you have a firearm. But the problem arises when he says, no, I do not have a permit. Now there's police action that needs to be taken. Obviously, you have to confiscate the firearm and possibly charge them for carrying a firearm without having proper credentials to do so. And you need to find out if he's a felon in possession, and you need to write him a ticket for the stoplight. And this is one of the things that I had in a lot of my comments on one of my other videos is you have to write the person for the violation that you originally stopped them for, whether it be a criminal violation or whether it be a traffic infraction. You have to write that as part of the investigation, if you will, into the firearm, and then whatever charges stem from that. If you fail to write the violation for the stoplight and you just go right into the violation of carrying a firearm, chances are it's going to be thrown out because you did not create or provide probable cause or proper probable cause for the stop, which ended up in during your investigation, which is nothing more than asking the guy if he had a firearm. You didn't have the probable cause to stop him. Therefore, you didn't ask him that question. You wouldn't have known he had a firearm. And then again, he would not have been charged. So you have to write that. Secondly, that's not the problem with this video. The problem is, the guy has a firearm, but he's being completely compliant. He was completely honest. It's not like the officer saw it sticking out of his pants or sticking, lifted up and he could see it. The man voluntarily gave that information. So you have to get him out of the vehicle and you have to take possession of the firearm. Now, there's no hurry in doing so. You want to do it cautiously. You want to do it safely. As you see in this video, they have two officers right there as he exits the vehicle. He's got his hands up. He's being compliant. He's allowing them to manipulate the firearm. Now, he has it in a holster at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock position. Thank goodness for that. That's probably the only good thing in the situation, and I'm going to get into that. However, the female officer, Mindy Caldwell, maybe, I believe it is. I could be wrong. don't have my notes written down. As you guys know, I usually just go off the cuff with my stuff. That's right. I go off with my stuff. So anyway, during the process of trying to remove this firearm from this man's body, he even says, "Do you need me to loosen my belt? It's pretty tight." The officer continues to try to take the firearm out. Now, why they didn't try just to take the whole holster together, that's the best way to do it. If you have a quality holster, that holster will protect the firing mechanism, the trigger housing group, the trigger guard. It's going to cover all that. That's what quality holsters do. If you make one in your backyard, you may not cover everything that needs to be covered. But in this case, a quality firearm protects the trigger from being pulled. Unless you're an incompetent police officer, finger effing all around in there, and getting your fingers into the trigger well where she accidentally discharged his weapon before getting it out of his holster, or at least out of his holster and away from his body. This caused the bullet to travel through his thigh, exterior thigh, and come out his kneecap. Bad, bad, bad. This guy is going to have surgery after surgery after surgery just to be able to walk. Now, this man is a crane operator, which, if you know what a crane is, you are using your feet and you're using your hands all day long, pushing in levers, changing, going up, going down. He's going to probably have a very hard time returning to work as a crane operator. He might be able to be a call taker somewhere where he just sits in the chair, but probably his days of being a crane operator are over. Now, once this officer, Mindy, shoots this guy, she goes into total stupid mode. She just walks around in a circle while other officers, one pulls the guy out of the car, gets him down onto the ground in a safe area off to the side of the road, while another one is radioing that they need medical. He's given advice as to, get a tourniquet on the leg as soon as possible. And everyone else attends to this person while this Mindy woman officer pretty much does nothing. Now, I am pro-police. If you watch my videos, you know I'm a retired police officer. Boneheaded. I can tell you there's a lot of stupid police officers in this world. I've seen plenty of them. They get pushed through the academy for one reason or the other, and they graduate, and they become a liability. They become a liability for their department. They become a liability to their citizens, and they become a liability to the officers in which they work with. This could have easily been an officer being shot if it wasn't for the leg of the subject. I'm not going to call him a suspect. He was a subject. He was, it was a traffic infraction at worst. The only problem was, once they found out he had an illegal firearm on him, they needed to take action. If he had said, "No, I don't," chances are they would have just said, "Okay," wrote him a ticket, and let him go. Now, the video doesn't go on to say whether they wrote the citation or not. I certainly hope they did. But this guy is going to get a healthy payout from the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, Jacksonville, Florida Sheriff's Office. I'm not sure if they break them down by counties or whatever, or if it's just Jacksonville. But he's going to get a big payout. I'm sure there's been 100 lawyers already trying to contact him to take up a civil case against the police department, and they're probably going to settle before they go to court. So $1 million or more for sure. There ain't much more to say about it other than I can't, I don't have any other words for it other than incompetence. That officer, they did a quick review, the internal affairs, and they fired her. And that's probably a good thing. She should not be handling firearms if she cannot take one off a compliant person without shooting them. Now, the part about 3 o'clock position is probably what saved his life. If he had been carrying appendix and she fired that round, well, you got a lot of large arteries in either direction of the dangling participle, as well as in that area, that if it struck the femoral artery on either side, any large artery, it could have been 30 seconds to a minute. He could have bled out. There's no putting a tourniquet on that area right there. So you would have been having an emergency pack stuff and get him to the hospital. And that's the only problem with carrying appendix. I carry appendix a lot now versus the 3 o'clock. And yeah, if you're an officer watching this, please, if you're going to disarm someone, if it's in a holster, take the whole holster out without trying to remove the pistol, so that you don't accidentally have a negligent discharge and injure someone and possibly kill someone. So that's all I got for this video. 11 minutes, not too bad, not too shabby, as my wife would say. So that's all I got. Let me know in your comments what you think. That's it. See ya.